Hi, everybody. I'm Julie Williams. Welcome to the YouTube and Facebook channels. I'm here with Deb Munro and Elley Ray, Elley on top, and Deb Munro on the bottom over there, because they're doing something really fabulous. I don't know about you, but I cry when I watch the news. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I seriously do cry when I watch the news and when I see people telling their stories on the news. It's just too much. And Elley Ray and Deb Munro are doing something about it. And they want to mobilize the voiceover community. So we're here to tell you how you can help out. Do our little voiceover part. As insignificant as it might be, it's going to mean something. And it's what we can do. We can't change big things, but we can do our own share. And so, Deb and Elley Ray, tell us exactly from the beginning what's going on.
Well,
Elley, why don't you take over?
yeah,
Your
I'll
baby.
take the lead in this. I'm fascinated with the human condition. As a storyteller, we are all storytellers here, and we tell stories that are provocative, and we desire to sit around fires singing and dancing, sharing fable and lifting the vapors, inspiring folks, uplifting folks, awakening folks. We are provocative. That is what we do. And when we get into situations where humanity, which is what, at the microphone, it's about our audiences, it's about humanity. And what with the crisis in Ukraine, I mean, there's been many wars and they're all horrid. And I particularly now coming out of COVID and coming out of all of the political strife in the world and Ukraine, I realized that Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, is an actor. He's a voice actor. He's a funny man. You can check him out online. But he voices Paddington Bear, and it struck me that we uplift humanity. He is leading, in my opinion, in uplifting his tribe, his people. And I thought, wait a minute, there's no I in team. We are storytellers. We are one force of humanity that all works towards uplifting humanity. And I thought, why don't we come together with our voices, which is an incredible energy, and help heal and change with a prayer using all of our voices collectively, because that's what communication, it's the human connection. And if they can hear us praying for them, I call it a prayer, but it's really a story that I've written. And I came to Deb and I said, why don't we do this thing? And I mean, we're inundated with work up the wazoo right now. And she leapt towards it and went, yeah, this is really important. And it's something we can actively do. Yes, we're collecting money for the Ukrainian Red Cross along with it as a financial, but I feel that the energetic communication of storytelling and voicing is where we as a team will go, I can do this to ignite you and uplift you and inspire you to keep going, that you are part of a very glorious team. And it's kind of just taken off. And it's exciting. And, we literally got a poster together, started putting it out there. And you came forward. It's amazing the response we've had. And we're excited because I feel that storytellers sit in their home studios a lot alone and feel that they're disconnected. They are not disconnected. They have huge power. They're alchemists, they're magicians. I always say, and I have said for 40 years, soldiers of the word, we are the ones that, miraculously feed through a conduit device and go, believe, and people get inspired. And that to me is what we can do, and I'm excited by it.
It's very much like Band-Aid, the Band-Aid effort when all the singers got together and performed theirs. Well, it's about time we did something like that too. And what a beautiful sentiment to do it for. And I'm just like you, Julie, and I know Elley is as well. I instead of animation in the background in my house right now, it's news. And I'm not normally a news person, but I am tearfully crying daily over the effect that it's having. And just like Elley said, there's been other wars, yes, but this seems so much more closer to home, and we all seem very involved. And if we can do something to make some efforts to show our support, and the fact that this guy is a voice actor. And for me, I don't know, I'm not political at all, so I don't understand or follow politics. I don't know what their beefs have been for years, anything like that. But what I know is he's a fellow actor. And we as fellow actors should support each other. That's the one thing I've loved about this industry, is the support system. And so this is a great opportunity for everyone who joins us. It's going to be an absolute crap show because there's going to be way too many people on one call. So I just want to encourage people, what we're going to have us do is all voice a few words, a few sentences, and we're going to piece that together, which is where the artwork obviously is going to come in the end. We're going to limit the Zoom call to 100. But please don't let that anybody, you big voice talent out there, all you A-listers, will be hitting you up, not just for donation, but for your voice. We want to put the stars on there. We want to put everybody we can on there to show our support of love and shared commonality. And our voices are strong and make messages. And so we're hoping to put that together. So anybody who can't join the Zoom call, you can still donate, of course, but you can send us your video snips. We'll give you an idea of what to send. So you can just send us an email at info@getmike.com. And then that will allow you to be a part of it still, so that you can be a part. We're taking, of course, any donations, but we're charging $50 for each person to join us. And everyone will get a voice in that clip. And so that will, I imagine, be a few clips by the time we're done, because I think it's bigger than we even anticipated to start. But we're just so grateful for anybody who wants to help us support this wonderful cause, in the sense of VOs coming together collectively. What a beautiful thing.
Can people put in their own message, or is this all scripted?
Well, here's the thing. If they, we are encouraging that they put in their own message, but it must be very brief in order for us to put this on a compilation of hundreds and hundreds of voice talent. So we have specific opening and closing phrase that we'd like of some of our A-listers. And then we have, during the call, we have very specific scripted words that we are going to have each person say. The biggest key in what we're saying is we are. We are
the spirit of humanity, is sort of the basics of it. And then I have written like about 50 lines that sort of incorporate the different elementals of, the light, the strength, the hope, the fears, the thing that and it goes on to uplift humanity.
So ideally, if they register on our website, they will automatically get the script. So they'll have an idea of that. That script will probably be revised by the time we're on our live call. But anyone who's going to join us without the Zoom, we will send them an exact thing of what we'd like them to say, but we'd also like them to say where they're from, who they are. If they have a little logo to put on there as well, any kind of video editing they can do ahead of time would save us a lot of work, of course, but we're open to take whatever we can put in, and we'll find our way through it once we have that story all put together in its pieces. And find home for everybody to join in.
And there's a whole choral part to it. So like going into the temple, which I believe is the studio, and the word is the prayer, we give it to the people. So collectively, as in a gathering, we will chorally do a section where we will overlay and overlay and overlay and overlay and overlay and overlay all of the choral voices, and then there'll be singular voices with little the words underlaying it. So it's quite the production of it will be interesting.
Yeah. Sorry ahead of time.
Right. Complicated. But,
are you apologizing to Uncle Roy?
I'm apologizing to any editors who end up volunteering. And we are looking for any engineers who want to help us with this as well, to help us put it together. We do have some in mind, but anybody who's willing to help in this, the more help we have, obviously, the better in an engineering point of view, both video editing and audio. So putting that all together, it is a long script. It will be a long video. Again, we're hoping to kind of split it up into a couple so that it's not so long. Our goal is actually to get this into Zelensky's hands, to show him that we support their cause and that we care. We all care. We'd like to get some, for those of you that are connected with CNN or anything like that, we'd like news coverage. We want to make a mark here, not to recognize voice talent, but to recognize the support that the voice community really does ensue. And we're very proud of that, and have been for all the years that we've both been in this industry. It's a beautiful industry. It really is.
Yeah. It's a very loving industry. Roy Yokelson, Uncle Roy, has just volunteered to help you
Yay,
guys with
Uncle Roy, I love you.
Roy. We love you, Uncle Roy.
Thank you, Uncle Roy.
the second he found out that that you were doing this, I sent out an email telling some people we were going to do this live today. And the second he found out, I mean, it was like less than a minute after we sent it, he emails back and says, "Is it okay if I attend?" I'm like, yeah. And he said he loves F3 too.
You know, just again, it goes back to how supportive this industry is. Since the beginning of my birthing in this industry, I was blessed to be involved in the online aspect of it from the start for me. And when I started going to conventions and meeting like minds, like, wow, the support. And I actually felt normal for the first time in my life. I felt normal. There was a home for us wackos, weirdos, and crazy people that love to talk and love to create and love to inspire. And so what a gift to have such great support for us. We are very grateful for that. Thank you, Uncle Roy.
Yes, and the industry is great. People expect that you are going to go to a convention, and I've seen some people think they're going to be sitting next to their competitors. You're going to be looking. I'm like, and when I went to a convention, I met you. It was hardly like that.
Well, and it's like we are a team, and there is no I in team, and it literally takes a village to tell the infinite stories in every genre. Like it's not like there isn't enough to go around. There really is, and there's not this drought of opportunity. And when we recognize that we've got each other to rely on, because one person can't tell a story, it takes a village, and there are infinite stories to be told in so many different genres. And so I was talking about this yesterday of just how many in direct marketing. Where do you go? Well, there's infinite places that you can go and, sell your voice. So I just feel that when we come together as a force, as one force, as opposed to the I, that we come and change the world. That's what a story is, being told by many, right? I just believe that. And that's exactly what is going on. It's a different energy, the war, but there are a lot of people literally fighting to save humanity. And I truly believe that the voice actor, whether other people believe it or not, literally fight to discover, to uplift others. We think we're selling, Viagra, Boston Pizza, or Bank of America. We're selling ourselves, which are each other. We're selling the energy of hope, love, joy, faith. We are the heroes. We are the heroes trying to uplift, no matter what we're selling, the energies of each other, because it's a great period of despair, despondency, depression, grief, anger, rage. I mean, there's so much negativity out there, and I feel we need stories now more than ever, and we need the heroes that I believe the storytellers.
And look at how profound our industry became over COVID. We were actually the only performers working. Voice actors were the only ones working when the world shut down. For some countries, very, very minimal time did they shut down, but we literally shut down. And during that time, it was voice actors that were still working, because those messages still have to be brought to life. And so we're in a really gifted position to have a voice and to make that known to the world. And so what an honor for all of us.
And to be blessed in Canada and the US that, we might gripe about our governments sometimes, and we might protest, but how awesome is it that we're free? That
seriously, people, I don't like to get too controversial, and because I know everybody has different opinions, but no, freedom is what we have. We have freedom, and we should enjoy and celebrate that, and really cherish the normal style of life that we really have, that others don't. We're watching it firsthand every day right now, and it happens in many countries.
Well, and the freedom of expression in our countries, where other countries like Russia, you're not allowed. That yesterday he put some kind of law that you cannot say anything against the war.
Yeah, if you talk about the war, 15 years in jail.
I was like, okay, wow. And I go, I'm allowed to say, it may not be the opinion of everyone, but I'm allowed my opinion, and I am allowed to express it. And as storytellers, in North America, wow, we can promote any idea. It doesn't matter, and it's you're allowed to say it. So
You
that's
know,
freedom.
we've got sometimes when you're listening on Facebook and you put in a comment, we can see the comment, but it doesn't tell us who you are. It just says Facebook user. So somebody is checking in and says, how can I help?
Yeah, I've put in our email into the comments. So if anybody wants to help us, send us an email at info@getmike.com, and then we can better guide you as to exactly how you can help us. We'll figure
Right.
out, like, anyone who has a voice and a even a decent, it doesn't even have to be a professional studio here. We just want to get the voices heard and give everybody an opportunity to speak, to feel like they're a part of something really great when there's all this negativity going on. So we will find ways for you all to help us. And thank you all for your willingness. We also have a website where you can register for the actual event. So we're posting that as well. I think Julie will post that as well in the
It's in the
Facebook
chat.
Live
At
comments
the
in the
top,
chat. So that will help you to register if you want to just be a part of it that way. And of course, any denomination is great. It's going to Ukraine, and we're hoping it's going to help a lot of people. We also want to make a shout out as well. We feel this also needs to support the innocents in Russia. You know, people that are in this situation not willingly, blindly, in fact, is from what we're
Blindly.
learning. And so we want to support them all. And so we're doing anything we can to be there for them. Like, I wouldn't hesitate. I know we have a lot of refugees that are going to be coming to Canada. I wouldn't hesitate to open up my doors, you know, and I
Yeah.
know a lot of people are doing that. And, you know, there was a girl I watched on the news last night and this morning, and she did an actual video diary of her experience in Ukraine while she was fleeing. And at first it was, you know, happiness in her face, eagerness, I should say, to be positive. Now it's devastation. She has to leave her home. I mean, just watching these things is just absolutely gut wrenching and surreal. And so anything we can all do to help. And so we're grateful to take on any of your opinions, any advice you might have to help us with this venture. It's going to be massive,
And
and finding a way to keep Uncle Roy's hair intact.
yeah, what else is really complicated is I've worked in Russia a fair amount, actually, shooting miniseries and doing conventions over there. And funnily enough, I was supposed to do a My Little Pony convention in Russia, which has disappeared. Now it's not happening. It's just sort of this. There's no connect. We can't talk. But I have friends there, and they are diligently fighting against their government, and we have no idea. We see the occasional glimpses of people in, you know, valiantly standing up to the government, but 4,000 people were jailed, literally, which is obscene to me, for having a voice. And now they're not even allowed to, I mean, they're just being jailed. I don't know. So trying to reach them as well is virtually impossible.
If I could just give a shout out to media for a second, because we went through a big thing here in Canada, and I know the US was all on it, knowing what we did with this freedom truck convoy that we had. One thing that happened that I got very defensive of was people beat up the media, saying that the media was controlled. And listen, every media in every country has a governing body. That is true. But I witnessed firsthand, working for the media my entire career, I witnessed firsthand news reporters and people. It's almost like a doctor. When you take on the oath to be a news reporter, you take on the oath to spread the news no matter what. And I think the proof is in the pudding right now to support that our media is not as controlled as everybody thinks. Because what's happening right now is there's a bill being passed in Russia to stop media. We don't have such things here. So media, I just want to congratulate you. Look at the people that are on the front lines. They're going there to try and tell the story, risking their lives to be there to tell the story. And that is true media, in my opinion. They will risk anything to share that story. And if anybody shuts it down, they will find a way to filter through. So as much as everybody, and listen, we're not trying to get too political and open up the opinion roster here. We know everybody has their own opinion. You're all entitled to it. But I just want to support my fellow media people, because that's really what we are. We're a voice. And I just want to share that the media isn't as controlled as people think, because people will fight to get that story out. And I just congratulate them for their drive and their passion to want to share the word.
And that's what we're going to do with this opportunity is, you know, people will not want to pass it forward. They don't want the support going forward. They don't want the world in support of certain things. Certain factions don't anyway. I've had great debate around who's right, who's wrong. It's not about that.
Yes.
When innocence is being destroyed and killed, I say, not okay. Crimes against humanity, not okay. You can have your opinion, but as soon as it takes on some form of destruction or death, I go, nope, no.
So for everybody, this is a humanitarian fundraiser, not a political fundraiser. I want everybody to be clear. We are not trying to give opinion as much as we are trying to help. And as you can see, a lot of people are helping. Many countries are bringing people in, all sorts of stuff going on that is just overwhelming to all of us. And we're watching a real life movie in front of our eyes every day.
And now a great voiceover talent named Gene Lupo, who works in the New York City area and New Jersey area. You know Gene, I guess. He's awesome, and he just volunteered to help in any way he can. Awesome. So Gene should email info@getmiked.com,
You
right?
betcha. And then we'll get back to you right away, and then we'll band together and figure out what we can do. As well as Roy, we better get you on that Zoom call so you can see what you just volunteered for.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea.
To some sanity.
To lighten the load on Uncle Roy, you could use other post producers also.
Absolutely,
right?
And we do have some others as well. So anybody, of course, who wants to help, there can be some preliminary editing, and then maybe Uncle Roy can do our final and stuff like that.
It's becoming a bit of a bushfire, which is controlled to this point, which we love. It's like I said, we long to sit around fires, singing and dancing and sharing fable. And the more we can build that fire, the more light we will provide. And I feel that we're the fuel for this glorious sort of bonfire that we're creating of creativity and expression. And it's so exciting to see how many voice actors and technicians and in the voice world are just coming forward and say, I want to help. What do I do?
Yeah, and look at how global we are. Like, we've reached the world now. Like, what a beautiful internet has been, a beautiful thing in that regard, where we've really gotten to really share our voice all around the world. And so those of you that, there will be a link, or there is a link there. But if you go to our getmiked.com site, which is the same as our email there, and go to the workshop section, you'll see the Ukrainian fundraiser there in the workshop section there. So
and also it's we know that we've already had a lot of people from Asia and from Britain and from Australia, and we know they're in different time zones, so for them it's a bit of a wonky because it's much later. So for those of you who might be in a different time zone, just know that you can partake by sending us your recorded videos so that we can use those. So it's not, we won't, obviously you don't have to be there for the 20th, which is a Saturday, and I think it's at night and whatever time.
I think it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday evening, and it's Eastern time for us, 6 to 8. We're trying to do within a 2-hour time frame, so Roy and our volunteers aren't really killing themselves. So we will have an opportunity and an updated script for you, those that you can't participate in the Zoom call. We'll have an updated script that will be very specific to you that you can bring in. And again, you're always welcome to give a little message on your video, but just understand, time's sake wise, we may not be able to distribute that. So make sure you say who you are and where you're from. I think that's very important. And then just follow our little script there. And then if you have a line maybe is fine, but we don't want too much. Again, we want to keep our engineers and our editors with some hair.
And I know Deb and I had discussed that 100 maximum, but I feel that it's going to sort of explode into a different reality. And
that's just 100 for the Zoom call alone, because we can't get more than that in the screens.
I'm suggesting that we may, with the amount of support we're getting right now, we may open up other portals that at the same time that will be different links where people like Uncle Roy, once we've discussed what we require and what's expected of, they'll have the scripts and whatever that can be facilitated, between different portals should we so desire, because I feel at this point in time, it's already growing at a rate that is exploding. So we
just posted basically yesterday.
Yes, stay tuned, because I feel that there might be several different links that working with different people that we have, expressed what is expected and letting them sort of take control of it technically.
Well, thank you for putting this together and for letting all of us know how we can help. And please do keep us posted as things develop so we can do this again and keep people informed.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you,
just
Julie,
want to
so
thank
much.
all you, every single person that might be on the call or listening or hearing it afterwards. You are relevant, you are required, and you change the vibration of the planet. And for that, we thank you, and we look forward to voicing with you.
I'll say amen to
Absolutely.
that.